Hello, Another here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Time to run another map. And this time I have a level 2 map for you, or tier 2 map. It's the Mountain Ledge. Rolled it into a rare, but it has 20% quality. Interesting modifiers. Area contains 2 unique bosses. Monsters fire 2 additional projectiles. Monsters have a 40% chance to avoid elemental status ailments. This is a freezing build. Monsters now have a 40% chance not to get frozen when otherwise they would have. So this is gonna be more challenging for me to actually control the mobs. So more challenge means more fun. And on top of that, monsters have more life, 19%, and they can't be stunned. Well, technically if I do a lot of damage then monsters can get stunned, but it's not a core focus of the build. I tend to focus more on freezing things. But I think this is gonna be fun nonetheless. So let's run this. Decided to change up the portals a little bit, so now we got prophecy portals, and I think I'm just gonna keep alternating between portals just to vary things a little bit. So let's go. Mountain Ledge. Level 69. I'm 71, so this is good. See, monsters are getting chilled, but actually they are also getting frozen. Just takes them a bit longer. Also interestingly, because monsters have more life, they the freeze duration, chill duration is all based off of percentage of life that you take. They become harder to chill and freeze. And of course, because they also have a 40% chance to not get frozen, it becomes even more difficult to control than I initially thought they would be. So, well, that keeps things interesting. I like interesting. And Frostbolt just went up a level. Ah, that's nice. So, let's say for a change, let's go down rather than up. Ooh, mid-air flying goats. Aha, and a wharf map. Good, good. Oh, there's a ghost over there. Please possess someone. Or be frozen. Either way. I don't mind. Yeah. So it originally came from there. There's something shooting projectiles at me. Also, Golem is nearly dying. Let's actually fix it. Hey, is that a... Wow! Yow! Stop trying to murder me. Much appreciated. What is going on there? Okay. What is going on? Bonds of Chaos. That shouldn't be exciting. No, it's chaos damage of course, but must be one of the shummies. Superior Frostbolt. Ah, that's potentially interesting. I'm still using level basically 0% quality of most of my gems, if not all of my gems. 9% quality of Frostbolt. So what is improved here? Is it obvious? 9% increased cold damage. Well, okay, so that's arguably a minor bonus, since you don't use cold. At least I don't use Frostbolt for the damage. That's just a bonus. To me, it's just a glorified curse. A lot of items dropped there. That wasn't the boss, right? That was just some creative mobs. Hope so. Yeah, bosses don't spawn this close to the entrance. Well, so despite being more difficult to freeze, things are still getting frozen. Yeah, see, it's the shummies. They shoot 3 projectiles now, so they're more guaranteed to hit. They have molten orbs, molten balls, more molten somethings. Bouncy orbs. No. I got a barrage of frostbolts, so I don't care. It is nice though, actually knowing the map mods rather than having to just deal with it. I also know that a combination of different curses on the map will make it more difficult for me. I did a Zana map yesterday, just a Zana daily, where I had vulnerability, elemental weakness, and all monsters had hexproof. So I could not enfeeble them, so monsters did more damage. On top of that, I was more vulnerable to all forms of all damage except for chaos damage, ironically. And I rolled the map Graveyard, I believe. At least the map where you get Vaal as the end boss. It was pretty brutal. I took more damage, I had less means of controlling my opponents, of reducing their damage. And I couldn't even use Frostbite to boost my offensive damage either. So going blindly into maps or into Zana maps, there are some maps, mods which are going to be more difficult to deal with than others. And being on the receiving end of multiple curses is... oh, it's not a picnic. Hello there, Strongbox. What are you containing today? 6 additional items. And it detonates corpses, so I think I just want to stay away from there. Also, a spider might do chaos damage. Viper strike, yes. Okay. Let's deal with the trash mobs first. Also, Golem, get back in to the battle. No, sleeping on the job. Yeah, I see it's nearly dead. Full dragon scale, and then we got a couple of stragglers which are just gonna die. There's no real arguing about that. Ah, interesting. So I think I mentioned last time I made some changes to my loot filter. One of the things is that if something is not explicitly shown or hidden, it now gets this really obvious red outline. So I know I need to do something about blue rings. Since I don't think I actually have a explicit thing to hide them or show them. In this case, blue rings, I honestly could care less. Since, well, they're blue. If you want to elk something, you want a white base item. Vaal mask, that's a 62. Actually, Vaal mask is shown and outlined, so it must be something that is endgame viable. So let's pick it up. I mean, it's 4 sockets, that's useful. Multiple traps, support. And then one more small item, and then we go back to town to empty our pockets. So these shummies are actually, they hurt now. They were rather meaningless before. Apparently they were slightly bugged. Can confirm. They are now no longer bugged or harmless. They hurt. Gravel. Okay, that's gonna be it. The reason why we go back. And put everything in the box. And then we take another one. I mean, you always get plenty of portals. So I finally settled on a layout where I have my portals pretty close to my stash and pretty close to everybody else. Which works better than just spreading things out in a very large hideout. Now this way it's just you can be very efficient about things. And I tend to be more of an efficient player rather than who really enjoys taking long walks on the beach in my hideout in order to actually get to my stash or something. I'll make a small effort to build things. These arcs. This is even better than a 62. Okay, so have to remember why I was showing the 62. Might be that that is the high evasion one rather than the high energy shield one. Since there are trade-offs, I tend to focus more on the life pool mods, so that's going to be energy shield in this regard. Crimson Jewel. So far so good. Monsters are a bit tougher, 19% more health. But they still freeze all the same. Okay, let's keep going. Basically I'm just sticking to the left hand wall, and then after that we'll trace back through wherever we haven't been yet. Okay, double boss, yep. Yeah, we get double champions of frost here, which is interesting. Let's see. So it resists cold after I basically pierced through 60% of its resistances. But of course I have resistance piercing on my Frostbolt itself, and that does make all the difference in the world. Okay, just reducing your damage and just completely massacring you. Yeah, you don't care. But no, he's under Enfeeble, so he's not really that dangerous, which is good. So Enfeeble means he deals currently 29% less damage. On top of that, I resist 80% of cold resistance, of cold damage. So now he only deals 20% of the damage, and then only 70% of that. So that's 14% of his actual effective damage that I take. So that is pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Let's see, can we set up something creative here? Yeah, we can still squeeze inputs. And then there is a tenderizer, and then there's going to be another town stop. A very quick town stop, of course. Okay, next. Lots of loot that we get here. Well, double boss pack is nice. It's unfortunate that we didn't get a map drop. Would have been nice. No double map boss might mean double map drop. On the other hand, no running some of the lower tier maps until I'm a couple levels higher. So I've got a slightly better gear. Probably wise. If you push too far ahead too quickly, then you're just gonna get swamped by the content. That's a lesson I did learn from my Juggernaut. Also, Zana maps can potentially be murderous, so especially in Zana maps, always be prepared to walk away if things appear too dicey, especially in hardcore. I mean, in softcore, no, death is not the end. Hardcore it is. Especially in a new league, if you are only just getting into maps. I mean, I lost my Juggernaut there because I think I actually had my first ever. It wasn't the first map, but it was the first time I encountered Sana inside of a map. So I was about to unlock her, and then you take more risks than you ought to. And you die. But if you're just playing softcore, then there's of course a lot less riding on an individual run, and death is not an issue. Which, I have to admit, does make things very relaxed. Now you miss the excitement, but on the other hand, it's relaxing. Since, yeah, there's no downsides to dying. Especially for a series like this. Now if you die, you can just keep going. And it doesn't mean the end of the series or having to go back to Standard League. So I might actually do some series in just Standard League in the future. On the other hand, it does take the excitement out, so I don't know, maybe I should just switch it up every league or something. Ooh, regrets. Or maybe do something like do my first character in Standard League and then do other characters in hardcore. That could be a thing. Because oftentimes, well, at least in the last couple of leagues, the first week or two, grinding gear games is rolling out patches, fixing critical bugs, dealing with balancing issues, and especially on hardcore, people have a habit of sometimes dying to things that might not be the most interesting way to die, so to say. No horrendous mob lag spikes, things like that. Oh, there's no glory in dying to a lag spike. Boss encounters that are poorly balanced. On the other hand, no. Playing it safe does mean that I'll be losing out on the adrenaline rush that was Izaro on normal difficulty at launch pre-nerf. That was a 2-minute battle that felt like it lasted for 2 days, or at least 2 hours. And it was really, really intense and fun. So, yeah, no, as you know, notice I'm in 2 minds of it. I'll just have to make a decision on it soon. So I will be starting my Lacerate Duelist series soon as well. Thinking of just alternating this series and the new character. I mean, that way I can start a character in Prophecy League while Prophecy is still there. Let's see. Yeah, this is just the way through. While also continuing to play this character, but there's less pressure on playing this character because no, we're in Standard League. Standard League is not ever gonna go away. What? Need more pockets. Here, more pockets. Oh, hello, Haku. More than 50 monsters remaining. Okay, so we will have to just move on. Hello. 69 timer limit to find it. Okay, but this is just a unwelcome pickup spirits kind of thing. Damaging totems, level 70. That's just nice. Also, my inventory is completely full. That's not a smart way to go in. I should have emptied my pockets. Why did I empty my pockets? So far so good. No loot has dropped. Besides currency. So Golem, please return. No annotations on the map yet of where to go. Good thing is they don't really deal a lot of damage, the totems. So we can just basically ignore them. The bursts are too small to make a big impact on the energy shield, so it will just regenerate. So, flame burst. Okay. No, what? Okay. I don't want that shield. Here. Currency trumps just really, really big items. So Golem, please come back. You are here to distract the opponents. And there's it, the exit. And that is a level 5 Haku, which is very convenient. So, having made some space in my inventory, there's still no need to go back. "31 monsters. Well, we still have a way to go, so with a bit of luck, they're all in this corridor. And that means I don't have to backtrack for 1 or 2 lost mobs. Oh, yeah. On the other hand, On the other hand, I'm not in Prophecy League or anything that has meaningful achievements, so there's no point in doing a twinned map. I mean, the area contains 2 unique bosses, is the twinned map, which challenge leagues always have a challenge for, that you have to do a twinned map on every tier, so tier 1 through 15. And what monsters are that? If you do a full clear, it checks it off, and if you do that for all 15, that's yet another point for your achievements. But in this case, yeah, we did a full clear, we did the Haku mission, we did everything. So that was a pretty good run. So I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time when we run another map. And we'll see. Bye bye.